And now we're into wilds. Use the D-pad to target specific creatures or center them in the radial menu using the right stick. Inner ring highlighted indicates a target is acquired. Any ability used will be applied to that. Oh, we already know this. Actually using it, however, is not great. We haven't been here yet, so now we don't know where to go.
That'd make an interesting pet.
That's a lot of wolves. I'm really now I'm really remembering how much I love multi-loot.
Indeed.
Okay, the fact that you can randomly talk to all of your companions and it opens up a fucking dialogue is a little annoying. We got a letter to Jogby.
Over here. Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground.
He's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Okay, bye.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the four of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is
Looks like
foolish and
Arial
reckless.
Black. The art in
We
the
should
UI
go
looks
back.
like they spent time in. Oh yeah, no, it looks like they definitely put time into the game.
I still do not relish the thought of encountering an army.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Alright, well I got looting to do. Once I find the loot, that is Alien Ruins. Wait, that's the wrong game.
This should be easy enough. Show me what you've got. This should be easy enough. Here we go! As you wish.
See? Nothing to worry about. The dark spawns are easy to kill. And they drop blood. Which I don't know what they do. Can I get over there?
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so excessive.
Darkspawn.
Just seems so
Everyone's as
excessive.
ugly as the first.
Let's make this quick, shall we? Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
Okay. Nothing seems particularly dangerous so far.
Let's get started, as you wish. This should be easy enough.
I don't think that guy could hit me.
Here. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Can anybody open this?
What?
Apparently not. Oh, I can level up. Let's go more magic points. I can get a new spell. Contagious Hex inflicts penalties to cold, electric, fire, nature, and spirit resistance on the target and all other enemies nearby. That's pretty good. Let's take that.
Dark spawn. Destroy the fiends. Show me what you've got. As you wish. Right. As you wish.
Okay. Just looting everything. Rigby's Last Will and Testament.
Not a chance.
What now?
Okay, so all these locked chests, I basically just can't open them now. I can't walk on water, even if it's, you know, ankle deep. Now what?
This should be right. Move and parry, strike and kill.
Why do we keep just like randomly getting assaulted by regular groups of rogues? Okay, it's saving the game. Maybe this is the right direction for something.
This should be easy enough. Let's get started. On it.
Right to the face!
As you wish.
One down!
Favorite community meme in WoW? I think mine is the Murloc ad-libs. Oh yeah, the Murloc one. Those have been
Right.
going on forever. That's an ancient meme.
On your guard.
Those are definitely, I would say, probably peak World of Warcraft shit posting. This is Murloc movie theater.
This should be easy enough. Let's get started. As you wish.
Okay. Random platoon of bullshit. Dude, these guys just show up every time I pick something up. What the hell? Oh yeah, the Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade, the Windseeker. That's another. That one stems from the fact that that just has like a ridiculously long item name. If you're wondering why that one's a meme, it's just because it has a really like ridiculously long name. Yeah, the Thunder Fury ones are pretty good. Oh, we got a new magic stick. The Horribly Slow Murderer with the Extremely Inefficient Weapon by Richard Gale. Yep. That's another long one there. Use the Darkspawn stick. Use their weapons against... Yeah, just like Illidan. Illidan taught me that one. I don't know what I'm looking for. Where's the letter to Jogby? Consult the note, a letter for Jogby? Where is that? Oh, is it in here? Oh, maybe it's under quest related? It's a really unique character. The only one close to him is Tony Stark in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I can see that, yeah. Well, here we are. Two large statues with a chest between them. Okay, so then... Did he just end up dying anyway, so does it matter? Oh, we gotta find the thing for the dog anyway. We need to find this cache somewhere. I'm gonna be real, I don't know if we're gonna finish this game. If it's very like actually D&D like this, I'm probably not gonna like it. I actually really don't like Dungeons and Dragons, it turns out.
This should be easy enough. On it. This should be easy enough. Let's get started.
It's definitely been a game so far. Okay, this must be what we were looking for. Okay, yeah, this is what we needed to find, I guess. Good space and scale for this game. Small enough environment you don't get lost, but maintains the illusion you're in a big world. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Darkspawn. They just crop up everywhere, don't they?
A little frantic. I can see why. Darkspawn approach. Watch for their blood.
Say your prayers!
This should be easy enough. As you wish. Let's get started.
But I don't like D&D combat, but I like D&D quests in my video games. There's a lot about D&D that I'm just not a huge fan of. I like video games when they separate themselves from tabletop games.
There is your weakness.
I've noticed I'm not a huge fan of the tabletop build
You
design.
are me, and it isn't gonna be me. Let's get started.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
Darkspawn approach. Watch for their blood. This should be easy enough. On it. Let's make this quick, shall we?
Time for some fun!
Right.
Take that!
Let's get started. Here we
The
go!
classic was just a hair split different from D&D combat, but has enough of that jank in it that it makes me rub off it. I can see that.
Let's get started.
What's a mud idol? Attempts to fight a level 20 Nagas, level 20 warrior, blocked, parried, dodged, blocked, dead, didn't even get a chance. Yeah, that's definitely classic WoW. That's before like anything with hit ratings or anything like that was built into the game. So sometimes you would just get into a combat that you should have won it, and you just got unlucky with the way the game's RNG combat worked at the time. There's something back this way? No other materia exists, just accuracy. Pretty much. I do remember accuracy in FF14 is not good. It's also why hit rating doesn't exist in WoW anymore, and it's just a passive thing that is inbuilt into the game's balance design, because it was not a fun thing to have to gear for. I remember having to hit rating caps and expertise caps back in fucking Wrath of the Lich King. That just sucked. I was like, oh, this should be an upgrade for me, but it's not, because if I upgrade it, I'm going to do less damage because my hit rating is going to drop below 11%, and then all my shit's going to get dodged because I can't hit the enemy anymore. And if you didn't have 27% expertise, you just could get dodged and parried from attacking behind a target, which didn't make any fucking sense. What's this way then? This must be the way we need to go then.
Cursed creatures!
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting annoyed of getting ambushed constantly by
That should be easy
bullshit.
enough.
Unless it's XCOM, just let us hit the mob, basically, yeah. Pile of rocks. Sprinkle more ash on the pile of stones.
This should be easy enough.
What the fuck is this guy? Glad we have a good 50-50 agreement rate. He dropped a single potion. And a pair of shoes. Okay. I don't know what that was. Well, a friend of mine said if two people have 100% of the same opinions, one of them is irrelevant. I could see that being the case. I definitely think there's room to have people around you that for sure you want to have similar opinions of, or you're probably not going to get along very well. But you shouldn't always only have people that are exclusively of the exact same mind as you are, because then there's no real room for discussion then. You want to disagree, but not entirely. You definitely want to agree more often than disagree. It's just this box. I mean, ain't fuck all in here otherwise.
Well, well.
It's the cute goth
What
girl that
have
we've been
we
looking
here?
for the whole time.
Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger?
This is about as
poking
far as I've
amidst a
gotten into
corpse
the,
whose bones were long since clean.
This is about as far into the game as I've gotten
Or
before.
merely an intruder. Come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey. What say you, Scavenger or intruder? Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wild, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the wilds. Such idle
Do
fancies.
3,000
those
wings in
legends.
90 days? That's
Have
a lot
you
of
no
wings.
minds of your own? You there. Women do not frighten.
If I came to the
my
same
little
disagreement I
boys.
had with you about
Tell me your
MMOs in the
name and I shall
economic
tell you
sense
mine.
with someone you'd actually hate to be around. He's on the team of the Fandom Menace? What the fuck is Fandom Menace? Never even heard of this.
Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that
She
is
has really
here
long
no longer?
fingers, Chad. She
Here
has
no
very
longer.
long fingers.
You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of
Heels versus
sneaky...
Babyface. The X
witch
is
thief.
woke now. It's
How
trash
very
crowd. Oh,
eloquent.
I
How
don't
does
even
one
give those
steal
people the
from
time of
dead
day.
men?
I don't even give
Quite
those people the time of
easily,
day.
it seems. Those documents are
Those
Grey
those
Warden
people have
property, and I
opinions that are
suggest
not
you
worth
return them.
I
anything
will
to
not, for it
anyone
was
and
not I
shouldn't
who
be given
removed them.
voice of platform.
Invoke a name that means nothing here any
Those
longer
people
if you
exist
wish.
solely for the purpose
I
of
am
making
not
fun of how
frightened.
stupid they are.
'Twas my mother, in fact. There is a sensible request.
Yeah,
I
those
like
people exist solely as
Be
stupid people to be
careful.
laughed
First
at.
it's,
They're clowns.
I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
She'll put us all in the
It's
pot,
woke,
she
so
will.
now it's trash.
Just
I
you
can't believe they
watch.
made Dragon
If the
Age
pot's
woke
warmer
in
than this forest, it'd be a
2009.
nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you.
Woke, but also super racist to the races in its game at the same time. It's woke and not. Claudia Black. Oh, is that the voice actress? I don't know any of these people's names, Joe. I know the characters in the game. I almost never look deeper than the game's like surface
Greetings,
level.
mother.
I'm always
I bring
stunned by
before
how many
you
people
4
know
Grey
like, oh,
Wardens
this
who-
is such and such voice
I see
actor.
them, girl.
This is so and so, and I'm like, how do you
Much
know
as I
this?
expected.
How do you know
I
any of
supposed
this?
to believe you were expecting us.
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, Dareth. If she's really a witch,
The
do you want to make
threshold
her
of
mad?
patience, but once I've developed more
There's a
understanding of the
smart
person, then I
lad.
develop my
Sadly
answer of yes or
irrelevant to
no.
the
That's
larger
fair.
scheme of things, but it is not
My thing's
I
definitely
who
if you open
decides.
up
Believe what
with
you will.
shit
And what of
regarding
you?
woke
Does
or
your elven
censorship, I
mind give
immediately
you a
think less of
different
you as a person. That's all.
What do you believe?
Like if that's your primary, like this is where I stand and this is what's gonna bother me, like we ain't gonna get along. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take you seriously.
Oh, if you must protest so quickly, perhaps I need not ask. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
Yeah, that's one of those
So
things. Like
this
when people
is a
open up with
dreaded
that as their
witch of the wild.
introduction to you
Witch
to
of
them
the
as a person,
wild,
then you're
huh?
like, I would immediately be like,
Morgan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it.
You must be the kind of
Oh, how
person
she
who really liked
dances
making
under the
edgy
moon.
humor in high school and middle school, and you never really grew up past that point, huh?
Not come to listen to
You're
your
mad you
wild
can't make fun of
tales,
people that
Mother.
are different with you
True,
than you
they came
anymore
for their
without
treaties,
consequence.
yes? And before you
see.
begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them.
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize. Either the threat is more, or they realize
Those are in the
less.
sense of,
Or perhaps the
if you're
threat is
maxable in
nothing.
MMO, you have no incentive of
Or
inviting other
perhaps they
people to it,
realize
so I think
nothing.
level syncing and scaling are good, and other players
not mind
joining your
me.
MMO is a good thing. Oh yeah,
have what you
absolutely.
came for.
You're not incorrect in that or
Time
in
for
any
you to
regard.
Go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl.
You want
These
new
are
players
your
coming into your
guests.
MMO, because if you
Oh,
don't, your
very
game
well.
dies.
I will show you out of the woods.
The game lives
Follow
and breathes
me.
on having new blood come into the game. If you don't have an incentive for new players to come in, because you've alienated them from the max level players, you're gonna have a hard time keeping those people invested to get to that max level. It's just a fact. One of Final Fantasy XIV's greatest strengths is the fact that the queue system for getting your endgame currency functions in a way that allows you to constantly intermingle with those newer players. It was more in the sense of vertical scaling and permanent reward progression, yeah, but that's not sustainable. It's provably not sustainable. The only type of game that's sustainable in are games that are like ARPGs, and turning MMOs into ARPGs creates a system of constant hamster wheeling that players burn out on faster than anything ever else. People don't like that. People who are big fans of things like Path of Exile and Diablo do not understand that their game mechanics do not work in other service games. They just don't. That loot chasing only works in an ARPG where you are getting infinite loot constantly and constantly chasing that vertical scale and that constant reward progression. That doesn't work. The other thing that I really disagree with a lot of those people is that those people really like things that you only get to have this if you were there. They're the you have skin in the game kind of people that don't understand that gatekeeping like that and making these arbitrarily unique rewards that are limited time exclusive things does not create any kind of value. It creates a situation of the haves and the have-nots, and then it creates a situation of a player comes in, and a big thing that MMOs live and die on is you see another player with this cool fucking item, and you go, dude, where's that item come from? And they go, it's from here, and you go, I'm gonna go get that item. When an item is removed from the game and is no longer an accessible thing, it's really cool to you as a player, but now to that new player, when they find out, oh, I can't ever get this item ever again, do you know what that immediately does? It de-incentivizes them to continue progressing with the game. Why am I still going and playing the game if the reward no longer exists? You're chasing the carrot on a stick, but that's just a string on a stick. There's no carrot anymore. This is why removal of content is bad, and why vertical and permanent reward progression isn't a functional system for a live service style game. You can do things like that in a single player game like this, where you get that really cool item, and once you have it, it's like, fuck yeah, I have that item. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that in an MMO. You can create things like that in collectible card game situations where, like, oh, I got the fucking promo card from going to Schleibelschlorps and got my special, I was there on Saturday of this month of this year, and I got one of the special cards, and there was only so many printed. That works with a physical object. With a digital good, that tangibleness doesn't work. Especially when the intention is to constantly have more people getting into that system. When you start pulling pieces out of that ecosystem, you break the machine. If every MMORPG was a hardcore EverQuest experience, it would end up flatlining down to a specific player count, and then the devs that aren't required to work on it anymore get fired. The whole genre would collapse in on itself. If World of Warcraft never came out in 2004, and we only ever had EverQuest and, what was it, Gaia and Ultima, the MMO genre would have never erupted in the way that it did. It never would have happened. It would have stayed the niche, minor player base that existed, and maybe they would survive to the modern day, but more than likely those games would have shuttered. If they had never made the adjustment that World of Warcraft did to create a casual experience and something that anyone could jump in and play, and they had kept that hardcore, permadeath, regressive progression, if they kept that design style, the genre would have ceased to exist. Or it would be in an egregiously diminished experience, amount of size compared to its modern day versioning, if World of Warcraft had never happened. It's just a fact. And anyone who denies that is a fucking dipshit. I'm not gonna lie. There's no way to sugarcoat that. Anyone who thinks that is untrue is factually incorrect. And is probably pretty fucking stupid and extremely closed-minded on their experience. They're so blinded by their own ability at a game that they've played for fucking 20 years that they can't recognize you're really fucking good at a video game and you spent 20 years getting really fucking good at the video game. That's why the game is fucking easy. Porcupines, how's it going? I appreciate the contrarianness. Core of an MMO game is to play with lots of players together. RPGs are generally defined by progression via XP or gear, etc. A system in place to bridge how any player can player with anyone else is good. In Classic, inviting someone to play was like, well, spend 6 weeks playing until maybe you catch up with me. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Classic World of Warcraft exists in that state of design that it had in 2004. It doesn't have the modern design space to it, and I don't think it ever will. That's not the intent. That's why, like, Season of Discovery exists, where you're playing Classic, but you have that modern design trait to it.
The Mabari's stable for now, but not
It's the same thing like old school RuneScape.
That herb I told you
isn't
about,
old school
hope.
RuneScape. It's not 2007 RuneScape anymore. It never will be.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But to claim that like playing old school RuneScape is playing RuneScape like the good old days, that only is true in its physical design style. Like the art style of the game is the only thing about that game that is still the same as it was back in the early 2000s. Even old school RuneScape is not an old school MMO. It's a very modern MMO.
Let's give him a day or two to recover. Why not come back after the battle? Perhaps we can see about imprinting him on you. Maybe. It's likely he understands you're responsible for curing him. Mabari are at least as smart as
Well, 7's
your
a
average
completely
tax
different game from what
collector.
we have now, and yeah, it's and anyone who claims otherwise is either completely ignorant to that reasoning, or is just lying to themselves to perpetuate this weird nostalgia they have that they can't understand is nostalgia.
Hello again. Is there something you need?
But the game you're
Some
playing in
supplies,
old
perhaps?
school RuneScape is not 07 RuneScape. It's not the game we were playing in middle and high school. Remember the only thing that felt like an old school MMO in modern day was Elden Ring launch when no one... Yeah, and it was only true until everyone solved the game. Like, old school MMOs can't exist in the modern day. They never will. You would have to destroy what the internet is designed as nowadays, because the ability to constantly communicate with people makes that impossible. Old school MMOs lived and died on the way that they were built because we didn't have the ability to solve them. You didn't have Wowhead or MMO Champion or all these crazy websites with egregious infinite amounts of information, and you couldn't go on YouTube and just go and see 60 million fucking videos of best build for this class, what year it is. Like, that didn't exist. You had to figure it out as you played it. You solved the game as you played the game. These days, you haven't even started playing the game and you already know everything there is to know about this game before you have even pressed login. Old school design doesn't work in the modern day because the internet exists as a reservoir of infinite knowledge that you have all access to at all moments at all time. And if you have a question, it has been answered, because it is a problem that has been solved. Because when you throw millions and millions and millions of bodies at a problem, it is solved at a breakneck pace.
Let me know what you'd like.
You literally cannot solve it, like, you only will solve it faster and faster. Still one thing that hasn't been solved, incoming joke, the purification of Ashbringer? No, because it wasn't real. You're correct, it never did get solved, but it did get added to the game. It does exist in the game now. It's just the, it's the hidden appearance for the Ashbringer artifact weapon. Is how you get the corrupted Ashbringer. I think I can buy that cool staff he had. Favorite part was the experimentation, so the over-optimization has somewhat diminished my enjoyment. Oh yeah, and it's not even just the over-optimization.
Is there something
But the other part of it too is players
supplies,
clamor
perhaps?
for balance all the time, and they forget that
So long as you keep it quiet.
having a perfectly balanced game is not a fun video game. And your next chat message immediately brings up the best point of that. Roguelikes. Roguelikes are a vastly popular game mode right now, and it's not because it's easy to make a roguelike. It allows for that design space. It allows for that experimentation. Still, like, there's still the instance portal in the Sewers of Stormwind. Yep. The instance portal was supposed to be player housing. That never ended up happening, which apparently is happening on World of Warcraft Midnight. That was supposed to be player housing back in vanilla. Yeah, it's the reason why does flamethrower exist as a button when you should never press that button, because the use case where it's good doesn't exist in the video game. It's why buttons exist like slam. Like, you have this button, but are you ever going to press it as a Fury Warrior? Maybe when you're leveling up a little bit, but you're going to get Rampage unlocked and you're immediately going to stop using it. Because you should be pooling all of that, any rage you're getting, you should be pooling to 80 to use on Rampages. And that's the way the game is made. But if you look at classic World of Warcraft, there's buttons that are like, what does this button do? Nothing. Virtually nothing. It doesn't exist for a use case. Those head scratchers and like broken abilities that are like, why do we have this? Are very dumb. But they're very good because they allow for an interesting design space. They allow for you to solve that. This staff looks really fucking cool. They allow for
Hello
the
again.
puzzle to
Is
figure
there
out.
something
They
you
allow
need?
for emergent
Some
gameplay.
supplies, perhaps.
Or sometimes they just exist for flavor reasons.
Let me know what you'd like.
Who knew meta would be Eyes of the Beast pulling and Naxxramas free? Exactly, yeah. Like, there's things that you don't anticipate to exist as a thing that works. But it's one of those things of like, when you make a game as set up to be balanced and be this thing you just run around on, and you don't actually have to engage with these different parts and pieces, people forget that a video game is a video game and they mistake it for an Excel spreadsheet where I've already punched in the numbers and it's told me what the best thing to do is, so like, why do I ever need to think about anything else? And that's what a lot of people lose with games, is they allow themselves to just optimize the fun out of video games.
Ah, I suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing? I merely pass on the Maker's blessings. He looks kindly on all who will
Yeah, no,
receive
the
him.
idea that we need to have all these things, there's so many really fucking stupid opinions out there. So many really fucking stupid opinions out there. The people who think MMOs and service games should be built from the top down are completely fucking delusional.
I'll not discuss politics here. Take your hatred and be gone.
Okay, fine, fuck you. I was merely curious. Well, we don't give the...
I apologize.
We had this other quest. Oh, we have to take it to Jeddah in Redcliffe.
If the soldier disturbed you.
Okay, she's not in this camp, that's why. Yeah, there's some fucking delusional fucking takes that I've heard. From people that just... They have a big following, so they think they know what they're talking about, but they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, and they just spout this rubbish that is just... It's just that. It's garbage.
So you returned from the wilds. Have you been successful? Good.
I got the
I've had the
vials.
Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately. I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later.
I've come this far, I want to see it through.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
Esmond, despite his audience and knows his deets on WoW, he can pull the Bob Kelso from Scrubs quote, "I've forgotten more about medicine than you'll ever learn." Asmund's a fucking clown, Aurelia. That man is not someone you should ever trust on it. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's got a really good gift of gab for that. Man's a fucking dipshit.
Are you blubbering again?
He sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
Yeah, we're through the intro thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super invested in this game. It hasn't hooked me. That's why we keep getting distracted with other random conversations. What is this option? I swear I'm the bravest one here and I'm a woman. This is a very 2009 game. Holy shit. This game really does try to play both sides in like the worst way it can.
I only know that my wife is in Highever with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight. Don't we? The Grey Wardens have saved the world from Darkspawn before. I'd say they know better than anyone what it takes. You saw those Darkspawns tonight. Wouldn't you die to protect your pretty wife from them?
I wouldn't take
Maybe we'll all die.
anything Asmongold says as gospel when it comes to MMOs.
Sure.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
Like I said, he's very good at the gift of gab.
Come to the joining.
And he loves to talk in circles and then basically talk over enough to make sure that you can't get an opinion in edgewise, or will find a way to pick apart one point of your perspective to make sure that it can't counteract what he says. He's very, very good at debating in the bad way of debating.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you.
It's always exactly on the edge of being too far for me.
Source of our power and our victory.
Yeah,
those who survive the joining become immune.
It's definitely one of those things where BioWare has a rough time with being tasteful in the way that it presents its points it wants to make. Maybe they're better about it in more modern titles. Maybe in more modern titles they're a bit better about this, but definitely back in the early 2000s they were very much as guilty of it as everybody else was.
Not all who drink the blood will survive, and those who do are forever changed. This is why the joining is a secret. It is the price we pay. We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And
stopped watching him as often because he stopped playing games, started bitching about them. When he was playing them, I felt like he had a better time. Oh yeah, no. When he was playing them, there was it was more easy to believe him. Once he stopped playing the games, he masked right the fuck off of, oh, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. You've been talking out of your ass and in circles for years, and then it's real easy to see. Oh, you were a fucking clown, and I fell for it. I used to deeply respect Asmongold, and then I realized, wait a minute, no, I was a fucking dipshit. And his most recent bullshit just proves that, yeah, no, I was right.
Maker's breath.
I am sorry, Davith.
He's dead.
Step forward,
Then
Jory.
there's Davith. He's dead.
I have a wife, a child.
There is
Had I
no
known.
turning back.
No, you ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete.
It's an unnecessary amount of blood.
You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good.
Okay. Like, there's not even like a question. I'll just drink the shit. Fuck it.
From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden.
And then I died. It's a big dragon.
It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel?
I'm still surprised you killed him.
Jory was warned that there was no turning back, as were you all. When he went for his blade, however, he left me no choice. It brought me no pleasure to end his life. The Blight demands sacrifices from us all. Thankfully, you stand here as proof they are not all made in vain.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood
Been to
and put it in a
myself as the I
pendant.
want to trust people, but everyone disappoints
Something to
eventually,
remind
so I
us
go with other people who've
those
been
who didn't make
disappointed.
it this far.
Shifted way far from the don't fall into the extremes is the thing you want to do. But then again, you know, expecting everyone to disappoint you is
When you're
also
ready,
a level of an
I'd like you
extreme to watch
accompany
out
me to a
for.
meeting with the king.
You never want to give in to nihilism either. That's also bad. I think we learned that actually in Endwalker. Why giving in to nihilism is a bad thing.
The king is discussing strategy for the upcoming battle. I am not sure why he has requested your presence. The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
Okay. Oh, we can level up. Get another thing here, the misdirection hex. Target suffers from a frustrating hex of inaccuracy. All hits become misses, while critical hits will become normal hits. Oh. That could be pretty good. So we need like 36 magic at the highest. So we can stop leveling up magic, I guess, after a certain point. Start giving it to something else. Oops. Oh, I get two spell points. Okay. Oh, this sounds neat. Walking bomb and then going into like virulent walking bomb. That could be neat. Of the levelness system, it definitely feels a lot like I said, I've said it feels a lot like it feels a lot like the like Dungeons and Dragons. I'll put the misdirection hex here then. Okay. Even Xenos wasn't a nihilist, you silly YouTube essayist. Yeah, there's a lot of really shit takes and people that clearly didn't understand the storytelling for 14 because it was too highbrow apparently for streamer brain to understand, I guess. Retook a political compass quiz recently and moved dead center anarchist. I think that
Logan,
is a
my
whole
decision
different
is final.
thing in itself that's not
I will stand by the
explicitly
Grey
applicable
Wardens in this
to
assault.
viewpoints on
You
game
risk
design.
too much, Kalen. The Darkspawn
I don't know if there's a whole lot of overlap there that
really
really can be done without making some Stretch
If that's the
Armstrong
case,
takes.
perhaps we should wait for the Orlesian forces to join us after all.
I
The
must
level up
repeat
system
my
in this game is
protest
kind
to
of
your
neat.
full notion
I'll
that
admit
we
the
need
story's
Orlesians
not
to defend
gripping me
ourselves.
in the slightest so
It
far.
is not a full
And we've been at this for like 4
Our
hours.
arguments with the Orlesians are a thing of the past, and you will remember who is king.
How fortunate Marek did not live to see his son ready to hand Ferelden over to those
Like, the
who
characters are
enslaved
neat,
us
but
for a century.
Then our current forces will
like
have to suffice,
theming and
won't they?
setting are just not
Duncan, are your men
catching
ready
me.
for battle?
They are, Your Majesty.
And this is the recruit I met earlier on the road? I understand congratulations are in order. Every Grey Warden is needed now. You should be honored to join their ranks.
Your fascination with glory and legends will be your undoing, Kalen. We must attend to
Miss
reality.
End Scene?
Fine. Speak your strategy.
Said you were halfway through this.
The Grey
Yeah,
Wardens and I
you
draw
weren't
the
kidding.
Darkspawn into
Oh.
charging our lines. And then?
You will alert the tower to light the beacon, signaling my men to charge from
To
cover.
flank the Darkspawn, I remember. This is the Tower of Ishal in the ruins, yes? Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done.
So at least 1 or 2 missions away from the actual start of the game? Oh.
You rely on these Grey Wardens too much. Is that truly wise?
Enough of your conspiracy theories, Loghain. Grey Wardens battle the Blight no matter where they're from.
Your Majesty, you should consider the possibility of the Archdemon appearing.
There have been no signs of any dragons in the wilds.
Isn't that what your men are here for, Duncan?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the tower and its beacon are unnecessary. The
We
Circle
will
of
not
Magi...
trust any lives to your spells, Mage. Save them for the Darkspawn.
Means there's no beginning
Enough.
and build
This
up.
plan
You're
will
already
suffice.
halfway through
The
the
Grey
story that's
Wardens
already
will light
been
the
built
beacon.
via FF13.
Thank you, Loghain. I cannot wait for that glorious moment. The Grey Wardens battle beside the King of Ferelden to stem the tide of evil.
Yes, Kalen. A glorious moment for us all.